Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. So today we're going to be looking at 500 Helwyr kills. And if you've been completely out of the loop for the past couple months, this is the Saren boss that came out with the God Wars 2 update back in March. And to most people, it's like their least favorite of the 4 God Wars 2 bosses, and I can understand that, but to me it's actually my favorite. Mainly because I got the strategy down completely, I know what I'm doing, and a lot of the times I can do the kills without really any hassle and without any food. So just as a heads up, this video is not going to be a full-fledged guide or anything. I'm not going to go really in depth on how to kill it, but I will give you guys some tips on what to do just if you're struggling. And of course we're going to be talking about the loot later in the video. So what I do is I usually have Vampirism Aura, and then I have Vampirism Scrimshaw because it works with melee, and then I also use Soul Split for the majority of the kill. And if I do frequent resonance throughout the kill, I can basically do the kills without any food, and to my standards, they're pretty fast. So basically, when he does his slash bleed attack right after he does his first mushroom bomb, it's like 3 auto attacks into the kill, it's very early. That is when you want to use resonance with a shield. That way you can heal up the hit, especially later in the fights when you need the HP. I usually put the shield on right when he says it, and then it gives me enough time for the resonance to recharge, that little cooldown, so I get it like almost the same tick that he hits. So the next special attack he does after that is his frenzy attack, where he just goes fucking ballistic on your ass. And the best way to combat that is to put on prey melee and use devotion or debilitate to alleviate a lot of the damage. During this attack, I build up my adrenaline, try to get close to 100, and I quickly switch to my Ring of Vigor right at the end of the attack to use my Berserk ultimate. Right after I use that, I use Freedom, which stops the bleed damage, because if you didn't know, the frenzy attack heightens your bleeding that you get. So keep Freedom throughout the fight for this. Do not use it for adrenaline stalling. And then I use my adrenaline potion and just go ham with my ultimate. The next attack after the frenzy is where he summons the wolves, and this is where a scythe comes in handy. I would really recommend using a scythe or a Dragon Rider Lance over Drygors. Drygors are actually faster kills if you know what you're doing, but for me it's harder to use resonance during the first bleed attack because your wolves can steal your resonance. I usually use Quake or Hurricane thresholds to get rid of the wolves, and then I try to finish my ultimate off with an assault. But after those wolves, he does spawn mushroom bombs again like he did in the beginning of the kill, and sometimes it can spawn right up on your ass, and basically you have to cancel your assault to get out of the way. It can be a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world. And then after that mushroom bomb, he repeats his complete rotation, starting with the initial bleed attack that you're supposed to resonance. And that's basically it. It's really simple once you know what you're doing, and I know this isn't a full-fledged guide. I tried to go in as much detail as possible to where you know what you're doing, but I didn't want to go super in-depth, you know what I mean? I hope that should suffice. And this is a loot video. You guys want to see what I got for drops. And the first thing I want to say is around 100 kills, about like 110 kills, that's when I got maximum reputation for Saren, which is 5,000 reputation points, and that means I get 100% drop rate increase to rare drops such as the Crest of Saren, the Wand, and Essences, as well as the armor drops. And with all that said, the first drop that's worth mentioning is the Crest of Saren that I got on kill 155. I already mentioned this in a previous video, but at the time it was like 20 mil, and it's still around there in GE price, but I did talk to a couple people and they said they're around 18 mil in the GE. So still a fantastic drop, and I'm really happy that I got that pretty early on. That's pretty much it for the crests and the wands. I didn't get any wands in the 500, unfortunately, but I still need to go there for the pet eventually, so I'm not really worrying about that. But as for essences, I got like 10 during the 500. I got them pretty commonly. I don't know if I got like lucky on that, but either way, it's kind of cool. They're like 500k, I would think. In the GE, they're 600, but you never know. And then for the armor pieces, not super important because they're not super expensive or anything, but I did get 2 helms and then a body and legs towards the end. I'm really happy that I got that. Now I have one of each item possible from Helwyr except the wand, as I said earlier. So yeah, that basically summarizes my drops that I got here. And as for like the actual regular loot, I do want to say that, man, those Lantadimes that you get are crazy good. You get like 90 per stack, if not 100, and they're like 4.5k each, if not more, especially with double experience weekend around the corner. You make a ton of money when you get those, and I had a trip where I got 4 in a row, so I like made 1.2 mil in like 4 kills. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, other than that, they're pretty much the same type of drops as you would see with any other God Wars 2 boss. But before we go into the actual price check and everything, I do want to say that Helwyr does not drop clues, and I'm pretty sure it does not drop effigies. So other than the pretty consistent drops, there's really not much other stuff you get. I would say the experience here is okay. You get about 10,000 combat experience per kill, so you know that equates to about 5 million total experience, and like 3.5 million strength is what I got during this video, and like, you know, about 1 million something HP. And that means nothing to you guys if you don't know how long it took. So on average, I was getting around 25 kills an hour. I mean, early on I was getting lower, and later on I was getting more. So I think a good middle point would be 25, and that means this took about 20 hours, give or take a couple hours. I mean, it's as accurate as I can get it. You might get faster or slower. Take it with a grain of salt. So I've talked a lot already. You guys are probably itching to see the loot, so let's jump right over to the bank and see where it stands. Alright, here we are with the loot. So first things first, before you guys get confused, why do I have 18 million coins in my inventory? So the reason is because I did 100 kills, you know, for the loot video back in April when the update was still fresh. I, you know, worked on getting 500. I did sell all of that loot during that video, so I got 15.9 mil in those 100 kills, and it was around 2.1 mil coins for the remaining 400 in just coin drops. So just keep that in mind with like the items you might expect. And one thing also, I said I got 10 essences. That is true. I just sold one during that 100, so that's why I'm at 9. But the real big ticket item that made me a ton of money is obviously these Lantodimes. Look at that shit. Like, they're what? 4.3k each. I wasn't super off when I said. And you know, that is a lot of Lantodimes. We're looking at like, you know, 18 mil right there, if I didn't screw up that math horribly. Honestly, God Wars 2 bosses are very, very good, consistent money. Even if you exclude all of these rare drops like the crest, you're still going to be making great money per hour. But enough rambling. Let's just look and see how much I made in the 500 kills. We're at 97.5 million. Holy shit, that's a lot of money. Not quite 100 mil, but that is fairly close. And keep in mind, some of these items actually might be lower than what they say, so it isn't the most accurate ever, but it's as accurate as I can get it, because I will not be selling any of this stuff in this video. I have to keep it for my Master of PVM series and my, you know, ever-growing loot tab. One day I will sell it, you know, at the end when I get all the pets, but for now it's going to rot in my bank. So this, you know, over time will become lower and lower, but I don't care. It's fun building a loot tab. That's the whole fun and joy that I get out of this. But if you guys didn't think of it already, 97 mil, let's just round it up to 100, just for easy math's sake. That's basically 5 mil an hour. Granted, I did get the 20 mil Crest of Saren, which may be lucky, I'm not sure. But 5 mil an hour, guys, on a boss that isn't super challenging and is super fun to do. That's amazing, and it's very consistent. If you just get rid of every single rare drop, I'm going to get rid of the Dragon Medhelm for whatever reason. Just the regular drops, you're looking at 70 mil in 20 hours. That's 3.5 mil, like, guaranteed money per hour. Twin Furies and Vindicta and Gregorovich are very similar to this. All the God Wars 2 bosses are very worth it just in terms of consistency. The only bad thing is their experience per hour is somewhat lacking. So yeah, that pretty much shows you guys. You gotta do Helwyr, and it might be annoying in the beginning if you're not familiar with the mechanics, but as I showed in the beginning of the video, once you get it down, it's fantastic, and it's easy, and I actually really love the mechanics because you can easily combat them. So I just want to say this for the people that don't like Helwyr, just try it. It's great. I love it. It's my favorite God Wars 2 boss, and I am really excited to keep on going with it and going for 1,000 kills. I still really want that pet because the Helwyr pet is so damn cute. Don't worry, I'm still going to be using my skilling pets all the time, but I still want that Helwyr pet, man. And before I go, I do recommend joining my Friends chat. Fat Noobla is just the name. All Friends chats are just the name of the person who owns it. So yeah, just hop in here, say hi if I'm around. Otherwise, you can talk to anyone else who's in here. It's a pretty chill place. I'd love to see more of you guys. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. as much as I did. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.